Hi, everybody. It's Friday, January 16th. We are ready to rock and roll and do another show. We tuned the cameras in on Wednesday night. I did an impromptu live, and I'm liking the Wednesday night. Cheers to everybody. So if you watch the Wednesday night show, I would say the last 10 minutes, you could see this is where the settings settled in. I'll kind of pivot like this. And this made the camera come to life. I am so happy with it. So to answer the title, yes. You don't have to spend a fortune. You could buy a ZV1, a ZV1 Mark II, either one, your choice, depending on which lens you like, and also the dollar amount. So we'll put up a B&H comparison chart a little bit later on this show. So I didn't pay that much attention to you guys on Wednesday night. So tonight, I think we'll just spend a little extra time with you guys all being together here with me. Okay, so this is the Olympus. She shines. Well, it should. Look at the lens it's on here. It's an f1.2 lens. Yeah, it's what you call micro four thirds. But Shane has been making more videos with micro four thirds lately. Not only with, but about. Shane is geeky, nerdy techie. He's in Australia, and he is a friend of mine in Australia. He's a friend of mine. Okay, so what did I do that destroyed my ability to sing and reverb? So I turned the reverb on, but Randy, if you want, I see you're in here. There is no reverb. So what I'm thinking is I've got to turn the effect on. All right. Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. Do we have reverb now or not? 'Cause if we have reverb, can I turn it on and off here? Okay, so this is on another pot. Well, they call it a pot in the old radio days when the dials and stuff that you turned was called a pot. Okay, so hey Randy, while you're still hot, is the reverb off now? Is the reverb off now and gone? I got to sing happy birthday to my brother. I'm going to my brother's house tomorrow night, and I'm not taking that camera, which is the ZV1. I'm going to take the ZV1 Mark II, because since I discovered my huge mistake, okay, we suddenly get a good amount of light in the camera, which kind of negates my bitching and moaning. Okay, good. So I found another button to turn the reverb on. So when I want to sing happy birthday to Randy, happy birthday to Randy, happy birthday my buddy Randy, happy birthday to you. Okay, so what changed, and only Randy or somebody else that's involved in sound will actually be interested, is I've been turning the effects on and off on the individual mic, which is this particular mic. You notice I've switched to they call this an ear set mic. EARSET, an ear set mic. And I did that because I never paid attention to them before, but when I got to be good friends with Howl, Howl says, you got to get an ear set mic. And I says, no, I don't want to get an ear set mic. And he says, but you got to get an ear set mic. I says, but I don't want to get an ear set mic. I don't like the ear set mics. And he says, well, How about if we try it, and then if you don't like it, then we will send it back. Okay, I said, all right. All right, so I think this one, it's a pretty nice view. You can see my straw. Okay, so this is my smoothie. I just had a slice of my nice warm bread. Almost ran completely out. So I made a fresh loaf of bread. I did it correctly, Randy. And so it's supposed to be a hint that you don't even recognize. But what I did is I put it in twice. I put a certain ingredient in twice to a loaf that Randy got. And Randy goes like, oh no, this tastes like a certain kind of bread. I don't want to put it in people's minds, so that's why I'm avoiding saying what it is. All right, so I just made a nice warm slice of bread because it's cold here. Today we were running at the same feel as you know on your iPhone when you put in your temperature. You guys, have you noticed that you'll get your temperature and you'll get a feel as temperature? Well, it was 37 degrees here and 37 degrees in San Antonio. So even though it was two different temperatures, but they weren't that much different, the feel as temperature was the same in Miami as it was in San Antonio. So why am I picking on San Antonio? Because Randy is in that vicinity, just like I'm in the Miami vicinity. So, yeah, he's always saying, well, what my weather is, it's coming over to you. Just give it a few days. So last night, and even today, I wore a sweater around the house. I got cold. When you get cold, it doesn't matter that I'm in Miami, and many of you people can laugh terribly at, the temperature and go like, oh, Peter, you're such a baby. Come on, that temperature is not even, I'd wear my underwear outside at that temperature. But the point is whatever temperatures your body will get cold at. Because you can get cold, that's one thing. But when your body gets cold, it feels like you can't warm up. And it's a bad feeling. I have to tell you that. All right? Maybe I'm not explaining it very good. Maybe you guys that live out in the cold can explain it better than I can. But even under my blankets, and I had two and I got a third, because I have a blanket, I have a chair next to my bed, and you lean back and you go like this and you watch TV. Okay, so I have a blanket on that, a throw, and I finally found a good one. My God, I've had one for years. I've changed it once. I used one from, my dad used to have one, and when he passed away, I put his stuff in the closet. I went and found it, washed it. Nope, it doesn't cover you the toes. I don't know what to tell you, but it goes down just far enough to not cover your toes. So I got one for Christmas, and it's 80 inches long, and it covers my toes, and it goes all the way up to my neck, and I feel so warm and squiggly, and it's like, oh, my God, this is the most comfortable thing. And it's kind of like got my microfiber on the one side, and on the other side, I don't know what you would call it. I think I would call it a fleece. It's like a wool, like woven. It goes around in circles, the thingies that are on there. And it's nice and warm without making you break out into a sweat. But anyway, my body, listen to me. I'm talking Southern, my body actually was cold. I woke up this morning cold under a pile of blankets, and I was cold. So I had to get the window shut, which I did eventually. But I was like shivering from the inside. And that is what determines whether you're cold or not the temperature. Because a person could live in, who was it that they were just there and they were in 0 and -0 degrees, and they're just fine. Oh, it was somebody on YouTube. Kyle's Cabin. That's who it is. I like watching a YouTube channel called Kyle's Cabin, Kyles, Kyle's Cabin. And he's got a new baby. His name is Stanley. Cute, adorable. And what's his wife's name? I think it's Sierra. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sierra. So he's got acreage out in, I'm going to say Wisconsin, but it's probably Minnesota. He's got acreage up in the Midwest, okay? And when it snows, and they go out on trails and stuff like that. And anyway, he's got lots of land with lots of trees, and some of the trees die during the winter. And he takes those trees and he chops them down, and he strips off the bark, and he makes his own logs, and he built a log cabin house. So he was saying it's 0 degrees or -10 or this or that, and it's going to get chilly tonight. Well, excuse me, what the hell is 0 degrees? Okay, but see how your body acclimates. And right now in here, because the house got cold, when the concrete blocks get cold, this is the same way air conditioning works. Actually, it's the same way your refrigerator works. You think that fan that you hear running in your refrigerator is what cools down your refrigerator? It's not. What happens is that fan will make the things in your refrigerator get cold. The walls, the shelves, the things that you rarely take out. Okay? And then they release their cold, and it keeps the refrigerator cold. So if your power goes out, you can actually keep your refrigerator cold by opening the door very, very little. And everything that's in there that's cold will keep the refrigerator cold. The same thing with the freezer. The freezer will stay frozen for days unless you keep emptying out and exchanging the air. But when you open it, and let's say you let the air out and you close it again, everything that's in that freezer is cold already, and it makes everything in the air in the freezer cold. Same thing in the refrigerator. Well, the same thing happens in your house. So where people think, now where this does not happen is in your car, because the temperature changes that happen in your car are too drastic and too rapid for that to work in the car. You actually need that cold air blowing on you, or try to get it close to you if you don't like that. I don't like the cold air in my face, okay? But you'll feel the air getting chillier. But then you open the window, you open the door, you're never going to get the car cold, okay? But in your house, your walls, your furniture, the floor, the ceiling, okay? The appliances, they take on the temperature. That's why it's hard here in Miami when it goes to 95 and 100 degrees and the house gets kind of hot and you got the air conditioner running at full blast. It's kind of like, why doesn't the house get cool? Because the house settles in, and everything in the house, okay, even your chairs, your cabinets, anything metal, you could touch it, okay? And when you touch it, it will be the temperature that it's going to give off. So if it's colder, it's going to give off a colder temperature, and your house will get cooler and come down in temperature. So that's why when it gets cold, when we have a cool evening, yes, I open the windows and I run the exhaust fan that exhausts the whole house, okay? And when I do that, the air and the temperature in the house gets cool, but you can still feel like this Yamaha mixer I got here and this equalizer. Well, the equalizer feels warm. That's probably because it's on, okay? But, all right, so this Lumix camera, okay, I took pictures of it to put it up for sale. It's cold. This camera is actually quite cold. Significantly colder than what you would think it for it to be. Now, I don't know. This annoys me every time I see this angle. Where's my mouse? I think I need just a little bit more. Yeah, that looks like a better picture. I got to remember one of these shows to put that lamp on, because it'll make it warmer. And what I really need is to find a battery-powered light bulb, an LED light bulb, because that tree, this green tree that's going round very slowly, is on a turntable. And because it's on a turntable, I can't put a light bulb in there and plug it into the wall. It'll tangle itself up. I would say give it about 10 minutes of going round and round, and it'll tangle itself up, okay? Not on that side, on this side. So if they make a light bulb or something that runs on battery that can run maybe an hour or an hour and a half, see those are like the little orange things, and there's red and there's green and there's blue. Those will light up because my mother made that in ceramics. She used to love to do ceramics. So this camera is cold. It's making my hand cold because the room got cold. And the camera took the temperature of the room. So now it is adding to the coldness of the room. And the same thing happens in reverse during the Miami heat, the Florida heat that we get down here, the high temperatures. And wherever you are, if you're in that heat zone, that's what will heat your house. So that's why I used to have the biggest arguments with my dad, because he used to say, turn the air conditioner on when you need it. But then you're forever going to be sucking up power, electricity, because you need to get the house balanced to the temperature that you want. Everything in the house takes on that temperature, and then suddenly you're using a lot less power. So Dad never put central air conditioning in this house. We have a window unit in here. This was Dad's office. Now it's the Christmas room, most of it, and that corner is my office. Okay. And every room or every other room in this house has a window unit. Now, if we had, like, I would guess most of you guys have central heating and central air conditioning, okay, your house will stay cool or stay warm by a steady temperature, because everything will take on the temperature of what the air has become. So the exception to that rule is poor insulation. If you have poor insulation, the window panes will actually pour in cold air in the winter and warm air in the summer. That's why they, the bubble wrap, when they wrap up, like when I sell the Lumix, okay, I'll put it in the box and then I'll wrap it like in a sheet of bubble wrap. Well, you could get those sheets of bubble wrap at Staples or Office Depot or whatever you've got there, and you can cut them out to be the size of your window, okay, outdoor window, all right? But you do this on the inside. Then you get a spray like a Windex, but not Windex, water. And you squirt down the window, and you put the bubble wrap on the window. Cut it so it fits tight. And that bubble wrap will make it so you no longer can see out the window very well, because they're like a little lenses, but it will thermally insulate your window panes, and you won't get this cascade of a waterfall of cold air coming down off of your window. I remember when I was a child and my parents used to put crap on the windows to keep that cold air from coming down. It was drapes in one room where they had double drapes, but then eventually they got something, and I don't think they had the bubble wrap that we have today. Okay, so you can easily insulate your windows. So about 9:30, I made myself a smoothie, and I added a half a teaspoon of instant coffee, Folgers instant coffee. And the whole purpose of that is about halfway through my show, I get so relaxed talking to you guys and get laid back. I'm sitting in a nice chair, and I start to get so sleepy. So since I've been putting a little coffee, I started with a full teaspoon like you're supposed to when you make a cup of coffee. At 6 o'clock in the morning, tomorrow morning, Saturday, I'm still wide awake. The caffeine in the coffee is, I am flying around the room. Okay, so now about 3 o'clock, I start to settle down from the caffeine that I'm having now at 10. What time is it now? 10:21. So now that I started the show feeling a little on the sleepy side because I just took a nap. Sammy, you tried to text me. I was sleeping, buddy. Before my show, unless you have an emergency, anybody, everybody, don't be texting me. I'm either in the shower naked, and I don't want you in the shower naked with me, or I'm sleeping in La La Land, and now with the new blanket. Oh, I cuddle up with that new blanket. It's a throw. It's not technically a blanket. If you put it on your bed, it's not the kind of thing that you could tuck underneath and make your bed look nice. Even though I would say half the days I don't make my bed, I just throw it up and it looks kind of like a bunch of rumples, you know. So the cameras are doing a good job for low-price cameras, and me being a high-price camera snob. Where's my FX2? It was around here. Oh, it's on the desk. And I'm not getting up to go get it, okay? So, and that camera now, when we bought it, Randy helped me to get it so that I wouldn't have to pay the tax and everything, because they have this system at B&H. If you look at the description below, I have ways like this. This channel doesn't have SuperChats. So if I did this on the big channel, it's got SuperChats, and people will give $5, $10, $30. You don't know what anybody wants to donate, because they get to be family and they want to support you. But we don't have enough subscribers here so that the SuperChats will run or work. So in order for somebody to want to support me, their own free will, I don't ask, okay? When I need something, I will ask, okay? I've been saving up because in February, Ecamm is coming up. So if you want to contribute to me paying off my Ecamm in February, if you look in the description, I have reworked it down there, okay? So what I have is up at the top of the description. Now I make the proclamation. This channel doesn't have Super Chats. So if it's something in your heart, or anybody that wants to support with very little money or millions of dollars, okay, there's a couple of ways to do it. And I put that right on the top. So technically, I am able to have a support system for this channel. And believe it or not, you know, I will see comments on other YouTube channels that, oh, look, he made a video. He never asked for money or this or that. Well, just this little thing, which is broken, by the way. This is an HDMI full size to HDMI, what is the little one? Micro, macro, mini, one of the whatever the small size. It no longer passes a picture through. So I was going to throw it away because I can't use it. So the camera that you're actually, all the cameras in here right now, except all of the cameras here. By golly, I just had that realization. Bing! Okay. So all of the cameras here are actually the little small ones. And all my cables are the large ones. So I have a package of these, and I had a hard time finding the package. I know I bought one. Do I have to buy it again? But no, I didn't. I eventually found it. And I put the new one of these into the ZV1 Mark II, which we'll get to in a minute. It'll rotate on its own. The system in here is in 7 seconds. We will be rotating and be going to the ZV1 Mark II. That needs from HDMI. Hi, how you doing? Boy, you have a nice picture now. You disappointed me terribly before. Yes, you did. What did you do? You have built-in ND filters. I didn't even know that, but it was on. And I had a hard time getting light into this camera. The light just, it was like ISO 10,000 on a little baby 1-inch sensor. That's crazy. In case you didn't know it, that's crazy. So I had to look up something. What did I have to look up? Something to turn on and or off. And I couldn't find it in the menu. And I saw out of the corner of my eye, going through the menu, I saw ND filter. And when my eye went all the way to the right, it said on. What the hell? ND filter on in here where we don't have that much light. It's got some, you know, but it's not high powered. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and walk away blind after an hour of looking into super high-powered lights. So I've got maybe 200-300 watts in that softbox. Same thing in that softbox. I just don't look at them, so it doesn't, you know, how it blinds your eyes and stuff. So the ND filter was on. And it was like, oh my God. So what camera was I just on? And it changes so quickly. I want, well, this gives me a full 1 minute and 23 seconds. Let's turn that off. Let's go in here. Let's edit the countdown. And let's change that to 1 minute and 37 seconds. All right. Yeah, I like a little more time because I just start to get used to talking to this camera and then whoop, it sweeps me away to another camera. But you got to say that the picture on this camera is mighty fine now. Before, I was mighty disappointed. So again, if you came in later, the title of this, can the little baby cameras do a live YouTube show? Yes, we're doing it now. I'm live. Hello, I'm live. Okay. So, can it do it, or do you have to spend a bundle? Do you have to join the 2,500 club, which is now used to be the $2,000 club. Then it became the $2,500 club, and now the cameras that you noticed, they have slid it up, and now it's the $3,000 club to get into a prosumer level camera. A prosumer level camera means if I needed to shoot a wedding, I can do it with one of those cameras. Okay, and they used to start at $1,999. Then they went to $2,495, then $2,699. They probably all end in 99, okay? And then it went to now they're $29. They're about $3,000. I'm going to round it out. I'm not going to play all this $99 crap. One more dollar and you're at $3,000, okay? And then they do that everywhere. Cheese is $1.99 a package. Why don't you just charge $2? So anyway, my little converter went bad. Now the reason I didn't throw it away because I don't want to mix it up, because you're always looking for these things in an emergency. All right, if you're a one-man camera, then you're set up. You've got the cable you need, you've got the battery, the dummy battery, or your USB cable. You basically have what you need. Okay, so in this room, each camera's got a different plug. So I have a, remember the years and years ago, there used to be a, like Radio Shack, but how about before that? 10 or 15 years before that, there used to be a place called Olson's. I don't know if you had it in where the part of the country you're in. And what they did is they had a can of electronic cleaner. It was like a WD-40, but for electronics. I don't know what was in it, and it dried almost instantly, but it did clean out the electronics. So I'm going to try and spray this, okay, and find out maybe it's not something that should be thrown away. But if I spray it and it still won't work, it's going to go in the garbage. All right, so it's all about having the right connections at the right time with what you need. Okay, so I didn't have one of these, and Hal just zipped me out one. This is this is what makes the microphone work. Otherwise, we couldn't get it to work. When I say we, it was me. It works at Hal's house. It doesn't work at my house. Okay, so this is a VXLR Plus. And I have a second one that I was able to get for $19, and that is clipped onto my belt. But these plastic clips are very weak. But it's critical for here because when it moves in the 3.5 millimeter hole, it goes. Maybe I'll use the contact cleaner in there too. Not a bad idea. Okay. So my lightning fast mind just came up with that all by myself. All right. So I'm keeping this. I'll put that on. Both the little baby cameras look great now. The sound sounds pretty good. Thank you to Howl. I don't know if he's in here tonight. Oh, yeah, I see him down at the bottom. Okay. So, let's start saying hello to the important people. Randy. Boy, Randy just went through hell. First of all, his dog decided he's going to start digging up his fiber cable right out of the ground. The dog is a digging dog. His name is Lucky. Okay. You should call him Digger. And ripped it out. Then the company came, because Randy was telling me the story, and they wouldn't put it down deep enough so the dog wouldn't get to it. So I think Randy got fed up. He changed companies. He threw one company out. Boom. Go away. I don't want you here anymore. And he hired another company. And now the fiber is coming into his house because he puts up 100 videos a day. I'm exaggerating, but to me, it's like every time you turn around, he's got a new video up. Okay, so he is the king of creation, content creator videos. Okay, that would be Randy's crown. So now the new fiber cable that he's got at his house is coming in from the front rather than from the back. So the dog can't get to it because the dog is not outside. Okay. And we were talking on Wednesday night that if that dog got out, it would become a catastrophe. Because by the time you found where he is, you don't know if he could get hurt, get hit by a car, get hurt by another animal. They've got coyotes where he is. They got deer. Now, I don't think the deer would attack a German Shepherd, okay? But maybe the German Shepherd would attack a deer or another little dog. You don't know what could happen. So, who was it? It was Sly, and she said that Randy should put a tag. Not a tag. What do you call those? Yeah, I think it is called a tag. On Lucky. So if he got out, it could take hours to find him. But if he got out and you have a tag, not a chip. Chip is when he gets captured, he gets brought into the vet or to the pound, and then they find out in the chip, then they call you. But in the meantime, you need to usually find the dog quickly. Okay? So with the collar, you put a chip on there. What was I going to look up on here? I don't remember. But anyway, you could easily pick up your phone, and within seconds, you could find out exactly where he is. Because then this catastrophe would be averted. And for all I know, maybe Randy does have a chip on the dog already. I don't know. But anyway, Slide recommended it, and I thought it was a good recommendation. Stamp of approval, stamped. So, Randy, what did you have for dinner tonight? Everybody wants to know. Broccoli and beef tonight. Well, I hope. Oh, that means if Lucky doesn't get to the food. He'll jump up on the counter. A little Rocky Road ice cream for dessert. Now that's a man right after my own heart. Rocky Road ice creamy for dessert. What happened to pralines and cream? Every time I eat a pecan, I think of Randy. Here's John, my buddy John. Love you, John. Love you, Randy. Wednesday night Bible study. Wait, just kidding. Oh, we could do a Bible study, but this is not Wednesday. Oh, you're telling me to do a Wednesday night Bible study. Well, I keep getting into the Bible, but I don't think it helps the channel, and I could hear your response. Are you going to do what God wants or this or that? But my persona is to be known for, to be known for cameras. So I try, but I'm not ashamed that I'm a Christian. Matter of fact, I love to talk about Christianity. Okay. And, when you got 3 Christians in a room, you got 6 opinions. And if you got 3 people in the room, all of them won't agree with you. You won't even agree with yourself. So, for instance, someone just said, Peter, why aren't we more friendly with, let's say, a certain religion? I'm not going to pick one out because it's going to turn into a fight right here. Okay. And I said, because I asked God about that. Why can't we be more friendly amongst the religions, the different ones? And with the Christian religions, we can. But the ones that are not Christian, technically we can't. Now, if you want to look it up for yourself, so you don't think Peter is creating things out of midair, Galatians 1:8, I believe, 1:8 and 9, if I've got the right scripture. It basically answers the question, how many religions do you know? Okay, now I'm asking you a real question, okay? And this is not a pull out your sword and let's fight question. But how many religions do you know that you could just spout out who they are, that were supposedly visited by an angel, and the angel told them such and such, and a new religion was born, okay? Based on the vision, the revelation that this angel gave. Okay, so the answer to what I just said is in Galatians 1:8. If you want to use the Bible as your rule book, when I say your rule book, I don't mean a rule with a whip, like get the horses going. I mean, this is your basis. We are a Judeo-Christian culture in the United States. We're not a Buddhist culture in the United States, although we have Buddhists here. And I can go and say that same sentence for religion after religion. We have this type of religion here, but no, we don't. Our values are not based on any other religion than the Judeo-Christian religion, okay? And the reason that it's based on Judeo-Christian, because the Judeo, the Jewish part, the covenant that God made with Abraham in the Old Testament, is fulfilled, if I get to the right camera, all right, in the person of Christ Jesus, Jesus Christ. He was called Jesus Christ while he was here, and after he ascended and went to heaven, he's called Christ Jesus, in case you're wondering why I'm saying it one way and then another way, all right? Now, Galatians 1:8 puts not only one curse, the Bible, not me. I'm not cursing anybody, all right? Maybe if I get mad, maybe I will, all right? But the Bible has, Paul specifically not only puts one curse, but he curses them twice. And even if we or an angel comes and preaches a gospel different than the one that we're preaching now, and the gospel is basically that Jesus came, virgin birth, okay, died a sinless life, was crucified on the cross, died, went to hell, came back and was raised from the dead, and was ascended into heaven after 40 days. That's the nugget of the gospel, okay? If an angel, it says in Galatians 1:8, comes and preaches something else to you, let them be cursed. The angel or a person, okay? So I'm thinking of 2 religions right off the bat where this person received a vision from an angel and they told them such and such, and a religion was born, okay? An angel will come and speak to you. Not that often, so don't hold your breath. An angel will come and speak to you, and it will tell you things, but they're in accordance to what the Bible laid out. For instance, an angel came to Mary because in that time, to be pregnant before you were married, today you get pregnant before you're married, it's no big deal in our culture. I'm not saying for myself, okay? But in Mary's time, and Joseph, the mother and the father of Jesus, although God is the father, stepfather. How about if we do it that way? Okay. The not only is the woman scorned, she can actually legally be put to death. So if that was around today, we'd have a, hell of a environment. So what does all this have to do with cameras? Peter, hello? Takes a camera for me to say everything I just said and to get it to you. How about them apples? Did I win? Winner, chicken dinner. Okay. So if you look at a religion and it was started by an angel giving a revelation and the revelation doesn't match up, like if the revelation says something to the effect that the Jews have let me down and therefore my covenant with them is null and void, and I choose you to take their place and create a people that will follow me. That's a real religion. I don't want to name it because somebody might be in here that's in that religion. I'm not here to make enemies. I will share what Jesus did and move on, and then respect your right to believe what you want to believe or don't believe anything. Most people don't fit into the category of not believing anything. You can't even sit in a chair, okay, without a belief system, because you're not looking at the chair to make sure it don't disappear by the time your ass sits there. You are believing that the chair will be there by the time your cute little butt meets the chair. That's a belief system, okay? You believe, I believe, that this will be good for me and it's not poisonous. I actually made a really good one tonight, guys. Can you tell? It's all the way down to the bottom. I drank the whole thing. So now I'm jealous of Randy because he's having Rocky Road ice cream. John, you get me in trouble here, John. You did it on purpose. Wednesday night Bible study, and you got me to roll right into the Bible. Okay. I had to look to see if the reverb is on. Roy from Australia, another Australian. That's Shane and Roy and Jeff. I haven't seen Jeff in a while. And Randy says reverb is on. Oh, so we've already gone. I want to sing happy birthday to my brother. Happy birthday to you. This is the Howl microphone. Happy birthday to you. Whoa. Happy birthday, dear brother. I'll see you tomorrow night. Have some ice cream and cake. Have some ice cream and cake. I'll go off my diet tomorrow to have some ice cream and cake. So now when I turn that off, now the reason I did the switch on there is if I do it the other way, which has been that way, a couple of people have told me that there is a reverb. Now I have all the reverb off. Do you hear a slight reverb like it's sneaking its way through? I can't find where it is until I turned off that other switch. So somehow it's sneaking in. So if the normal way is I would turn it on now. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Then turn off that switch in another place on my mixing board, and it kills all the reverbs across the board. Now, if I had 7 or 8 mics running on here, I would do it the old way, the part where it was leaking through, because at that point there would be a lot of people talking, and you probably wouldn't pay attention. But I seem to be the only one on this show tonight. That seems to be the deal. Seems to be what I got. Okay. Let's turn that on in case Carlos decides to come in. I didn't turn it on. All right. So let's get back to the most important person here, and that's you. All right. So John got me into trouble. And then Roy is saying hi from Australia. And then Randy says the reverb is on and the reverb is off. Now the reverb should be off when I'm saying the reverb is off. there should be reverb off. Now I do have the reverb light on this channel, okay? But I have the master reverb turned off, okay? Isn't that a nice picture for a little camera? Every one of these is, the background is not as nice, okay? Maybe I can clean it up. When I ship out boxes, I use this as my scale, okay? Then I have a little Christmas thingamajigs. Now that tree can light up. It actually looks a hair too bright, to be honest with you. It looks like I could pull that down just a little bit, but just a little bit. Well, instead of pulling that down there, okay, I hate to set up and unset my chairs. Let's move. See, what happens is as soon as I move this lens here in the zoom, it's going to, okay, so we are at f 3.5 now, okay? So see, it pulled down some of the light. And because I zoomed it in a little bit, I actually have to fix the zoom in my Ecamm. Bring it out. It does look a little richer with the lighting this way. And I thought we were all set. So one of the negative things is when you turn either ZV1 or ZV1 Mark II, if you turn that on and set it up the way you want and turn it off, it does not remember the last zoom that you have. So I have to bring it to the zoom that I want every time I turn the camera on. Is that a big negative? No, because you learn to do it over and over. I could do that on the ZV1 like that. Okay, the ZV1 Mark II, which is the one that we were just on, I've only used that, twice or maybe 3 times? And I'm not fully situated as to exactly where to move it. But you will get to the point where you remember where to move it. So it's not a big negative, but I wish, I don't know, I'd have to think it through. Maybe there's a reason that it wasn't made that way. So now my lights are off for the reverb. There should be no reverb. Check, 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 check. Deposit, deposit, deposit. Okay. Turn all these off. Okay. It should be flat as a pancake. The sound should be really good right now. If it's not, I'll be disappointed in me again. I'm making pudding milk, 2 cups of milk and 2 eggs. Vanilla extract, 2 drops. 2 drops? Oh, come on. That's almost nothing. You got to put in vanilla extract. You got to make an effect on 2 cups of milk and 2 eggs. You're not tasting nothing vanilla extract at 2 drops. You need to put in an 1/8 or 1/4 of a teaspoon. All right, so that would be like 6 or 7 drops, or probably one of the caps if you're using McCormick, the McCormick vanilla extract, the little red cap that's on the top. Put one of those caps in, because the 2 drops is not giving you that vanilla. It's like it's sterilizing it, because vanilla is basically a liquor. It's vodka with vanilla beans soaked in. Wait, let's get back to this, because I was interested in that. He's making pudding milk, 2 cups. So why aren't you calling it vanilla pudding? 2 cups of milk, 2 eggs, vanilla extract, and sugar to taste. Wouldn't that be a vanilla pudding, Randy? I would think it is. Take that same thing and add a teaspoon of Hershey's cocoa. Always get the dark one, because it's got less acidity. You got anybody that's got, what do they call that? Acid reflux? The regular Hershey's and all the regular Hershey's, the naturals and all that, they're at a higher acidic level than the Dutch chocolate, which is not a flavor. It's a process. So the Dutch chocolate, see, I have to change this one too, because I changed the zoom on that. There we go. And I'll move this like that, this like that. It tickles me that it does look nice. Okay. So you add a teaspoon. Well, you do it to taste. Like if it was me, it would probably be 3 teaspoons. But then when it comes to food, I overdo everything. So that is Randy's. He's calling it a milk pudding, but I would call it a vanilla pudding, especially with the eggs and the milk, vanilla extract, sugar to taste. What's in there to thicken it? Well, you know what would thicken it? If you put it on the fire and you don't have to bring it to a boil, but when those eggs start to cook in the pudding, it will thicken it. And you will have your vanilla pudding. You want to know something? You want to hear something funny? You're making also eggnog. Honestly, you're making eggnog. Okay, add a little nutmeg and cinnamon in there. And, oh my God, I'm going to have a little bit of my smoothie here. So I have the vanilla flavored. Many times I will add nutmeg. Well, actually, you know what I add? I add something called pumpkin pie spice. It's a mixture of nutmeg, cinnamon, and I think clove. Okay. And it makes it taste like a piece of pumpkin pie. It's called pumpkin pie spice. You get it in the spice aisle, right next to cinnamon and all that other stuff. Pumpkin pie spice is like a grand mixture of everything nice. It makes it smell wonderful, tastes great. So Roy was at 37 degrees. Then it got hot. It was 37 degrees here this week, too. So I have a hard time knowing if that was hot or cold. So I don't know if your 37 is hot or cold, because then you said then it got hot. So I'm assuming it was chilly and then it got hot. That's the way we're going to get back into the heat of Miami. It's going to be cool at night, and then like California weather or maybe even Texas weather. And then in the day it'll be hot, and then at some point it won't even cool off at night anymore, and we will be in Welcome to Miami. And that is when you get your cameras that overheat, and you go out and in the sun, and that's why I like a white camera, so on and so forth. So 36 degrees on Sunday morning. Yep. We were matching you. I thought that was funny. I was going to text you, but I knew you didn't have the ability to get what you needed. But wear something on the upper half to keep warm. So I do have a T-shirt on. See, you can almost see the T-shirt. Okay, so I have a full T-shirt on this time. And this shirt is a little on the heavy side, so I actually feel comfortable to not warm, comfortable to nice and cool. So I'm actually comfortable. I mean, did you get that? I feel comfortable. Okay. Yes. I remember as a child, my mother would come in when I was sleeping and she'd put the blanket over my back. She says, you got to keep your kidneys warm. And she would if I was usually sleeping on my side or face down, I'd get a blanket thrown over me. And I could hear her say to this day, even when I'm laying in my bed, keep my kidneys warm. Roy says, I need a bigger fridge so I can climb in it. Foam in your whole room and take out the gear out of the refrigerator and make your whole room refrigerated. You keep your beer in there. Well, maybe if you don't have beer. How about your milk and your eggs and your butter? Here's Jim. Hi, good evening, Peter, and happy Friday. I did communicate with Jim today, and he is traveling on the road. He was on his way home. So he was going from Charlotte to someplace. I don't remember where, but Jim does a lot of traveling. If anybody gets frequent traveler's miles, it's Jim. Okay? He's probably going to get enough frequent traveler's miles to get himself a Tesla. A Tesla, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there is news on Tesla today. I know we are all over the place, but that's why you're here. That's why you watch me, because I am all over the place. So Elon has said they're going to stop selling outright my favorite part of the car. So people think, oh, I love the Tesla, and I do, okay? I love the Tesla, but there's a reason. It's not because I love the Tesla. I don't think it's the prettiest car on the road. I like the old cars, the Cadillacs, the Lincolns, the Imperials. You guys remember the Chrysler New Yorker? And you know, and there's even some Oldsmobiles and Pontiacs and Chevys that were just lookers, okay? The Tesla looks like a jelly bean going down the road. It's like, what? Where's the styling? But, okay, I'm having a harder and harder time to see when I'm driving, especially at night. And what it is I think my reflexes got smaller. So by the time you process a car coming this way, or there's a car coming up in this lane, and many times when you're driving, do you ever drive and the car is coming up and it comes in here and you can see it out of the corner of your eye? Now my peripheral vision is good. Still, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Then he'll slow down and he'll be right here. I can't see that hand. It's behind. Okay. So the Tesla's got 9 cameras. And they're adding more from what I understand. So it's like 9 eyes versus my 2. And the speed of the Tesla's brain is full speed. It doesn't slow down like mine. So if this guy's coming up, and many times in Miami, we have like 3 lanes here and 3 lanes there. Okay? Before, when it was 1 lane this way, 1 lane that way, you keep track of everybody. Then it was 2 lanes this way, 2 lanes this way. You can kind of still keep track of everybody. But now we got 3 lanes this way, 3 lanes that way, and some places is 4 this way and 4 that way. You've got 8 lanes to keep track of with your brain, and as you get older, and maybe it's not age, maybe I should stop saying it's got something to do with age, okay? It's processing, and the people in Miami, it's what's the saying from Gumball Rally? He takes the rear of your mirror, pulls it off. What's behind me? It doesn't count. So these people change lanes. They speed up. They go back. And it's you've got to keep a constant monitoring of all these lanes of what they're doing. And then when you get to the light, you got to make sure nobody's passing the light. You watch the YouTube videos with the crazy drivers. They're passing the light. You'll be going. You got green. Just go right through the light. Now you've got to process that. Now, anyway, Tesla has full self-driving, and they call it full self-driving supervised for legal reasons, okay? But you could sit in the car. Has this new car smell. And then you just say, take me to Publix. Take me to Home Depot. Take me to Pinch a Penny, which is our pool supply stuff. Okay? The car will back out of the driveway and take you there. Turn left, turn right, go to the stop signs. It'll pull over to the 1 lane if a cop's got somebody pulled over. If an emergency vehicle is coming, it'll pull over this way, get out of the way. If there's a pedestrian in the area, it becomes twice as cautious. If it sees a dog that's running and it doesn't stop, it'll brake quickly. It basically is driving 100%. You can go from here to Home Depot and back and never put your hand on the steering wheel. For me, this is a feature to buy the car for. Okay? And it's only available right now basically on the Tesla. Now, NVIDIA, yes, that company that you know with the chips, they have a division that has been working on a competitor to the Tesla full self-driving. And I just saw a video, not yesterday, but the day before. And they have installed it with the cooperation of Mercedes-Benz. And it was driving all over the town with 2 guys from NVIDIA, 1 guy from the YouTube channel. Okay, what was the YouTube channel? I'll think of it, all right? I can see his face, but I can't think of the name. And the guy that was driving. And the guy that was driving is from NVIDIA. So they had 2 people from NVIDIA, 2 people from YouTube, or maybe 1 person from YouTube and 1 person from Mercedes-Benz. Okay? And the car navigated everything. It negotiated the stop signs. It negotiated a left turn. They call it, it used to annoy me, but now I gotten used to it, an unprotected left. So if you come to a stop sign and you got to make a left and there's no lights, if you make a right turn, it's just a right turn. But if you make a left turn, they call that an unprotected left, meaning you don't have a light protecting you. They come up with the weirdest things. Sometimes it just annoys the heck out of me. It's a left turn or a right turn, with a red light or without a red light. Why can't you talk English? What country were you raised in? Cheers. So Tesla, Elon has announced they are going starting February 14th, which is just a few days away. You're not going to be able to buy full self-driving outright. You will only be able to buy that module on a monthly rental, which is $99 a month now. So that would be $1,200 a year. Okay. So that's not bad. However, I just finished being all pissed off at Adobe for charging me something every month, and everybody following suit where they're on the monthly subscription plan. I don't like that. It's $8,000 to buy that module, but then you own it for life, as long as you own that car. And there's a fight going on whether it should be available to be transferred. If you buy a new Tesla, what you paid for in this Tesla should be able to go over to the new one. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what the rules are on that. So don't take it from me as being the gospel on that. Okay. So anyway, I left off with Jim. Oh, that means they can also it could be $99 a month this month, and then in June they could decide, okay, it's $199 a month. And you could turn it on and off as you please, but it's $199 a month. So they just doubled the price. What if it goes to $249 a month? What if it goes to $500 a month? What if they make it so that if you're delivering Uber or food or Uber Eats, or that it's a different price for you depending on how many miles you put? I personally, this is a personal preference, okay? This is not, I'm not lobbying for this. But why do they have to make it so you can't buy it? There's got to be a reason. And some people made in the comments that there is a reason, and it's something to do with a court case that they're in with California. But whatever. If I had the cash, I would buy me a Model X tomorrow, and I would own full self-driving. But let's say it goes against me. What is coming up is this Envita. Whatever car company will work with Envita, okay, and put in whatever sensors they need built into the car, because you don't want those snap-on things. You want the hidden cameras wherever, like Tesla's got cameras all over. 9 cameras are in that car, okay? You could see some of them you can't see. So, and they're putting more. They're going to come in there, what they call hardware 4.0. They're going to come out with hardware 5.0, and it's going to have more cameras. So that's one of the strengths of that Tesla, is that it can keep track full speed. I don't mean miles per hour speed, full power of the computer that's in the car. It can keep track of 9 viewpoints, and with all the logics that are built into it, do a far better job than any human. I don't care if you're 18 years old, the quickest whippersnapper on the market, and you don't want it, you turn it off, you just drive yourself, okay? So if Tesla prices themselves out of the market, all right, and let's say Ford or General Motors or Mercedes or Volvo, I like Volvos, they're very well built. Genesis, a beautiful car. Have you ever seen the Genesis? Wow, they're lookers. Okay, really pretty looking cars. If they make a cooperation deal, any one of them, and they will install the cameras where Invita wants on the car, I'm sure they would have a meeting with the engineers, and they would say, for our system to work, this is where you have to put built-in cameras. So you would get a little, whatever the body color is, you would get like a little thing like that. Where am I? Okay. Like the piece of that pencil right here. And the camera, and I believe they have LiDAR in the Invita model. They have cameras and LiDAR, which is another argument. Okay. So when you got that going on, King is here. Good evening, Peter and gang. Hi, King. How you doing? Love you, buddy. And King is King and Roy are getting to be really good buddies. Look at this. You keep track. You keep track of how many interconversations you get between Roy and King. And I want that to happen. I honestly want that to happen. Because that's the point of us getting together as like a family, is that we can get together, and where you normally wouldn't have like a chat room, you've got a chat room available. You could talk between 2 people, 3 people all night long. It won't bother me one bit. As a matter of fact, I encourage it. Do it. Do it. Okay. So King and Roy are talking. Roy said, I recently had the worst Windows double glazed. It really helps. What does double glazed mean? Is that add another panel, or is it when you put the film? I don't know what the glazing means. I've heard it. It's not something new to me, okay, the word, but I don't know exactly what it means. So Scotty says, hey, crew, Wednesday was fun. I had a good time Wednesday. I actually finished and ended the program, but didn't go off the air, and fine-tuned the next camera that's coming up. And it's the same settings where I left it on Wednesday night. So it was actually very productive. What I did was Betty productive. Okay. Hi, Hal. Love you, buddy. Say hi to Debbie for me. Hal has stepped in to help so much. What an amazing guy. Love that guy. Okay. So he just went through a cold routine, and I hope he's back to normal and there is no lingering. I haven't talked to you on the phone. Oh, wrong camera. I haven't talked to you on the phone in a while, but he is here, alive and well. I stick red dots on broken gear, green for okay, and blue for... Do you have that much broken gear where you have to have a system? Oh, look at all the red dots on the shelf. That's interesting. Roy says, circuit contact cleaner fixed my father's watch too. Really? You can even use it beyond that. So I wonder if it's going to do anything with this, Roy. Okay. It won't register. If I take the one that I have on that camera over there, or the camera that you're watching, and put this on, it will be black. The screen will be black. So I don't know if it actually, if the contacts break inside, which I have no access. I mean, it's molded. It's molded as one piece. Okay. But if the contact cleaner will work, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Right, Roy? So I think that is hope. There's hope there. So Roy is saying Apple AirTag. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Put an Apple AirTag on Lucky. So if he gets out within minutes, you can track him down and go capture him. And that's Randy's dog. Pralines and cream. Pecan and pralines are sold out. Oh, you would have gotten that one. Okay. I get you. I get you. And Gregory is stopping in to say hi. Hi, Gregory. Love you. Thank you for being here. Randy is here saying they laid down new cable. I'm over on this camera, but I'm reading the screen. They laid down new cable and the terminal is in the black. They laid down a new cable and the terminal is in the... Oh, the terminal's in the back, not black. Let's do English here. They laid down new cable and the terminal is in the back. But I laid down 70 1-inch squares, and 36 bricks. Boy, how's your back feel? Plus 2 2-foot walking stones for the digging and chewing and all that kind of stuff that he does. Safety from a German Shepherd named Lucky. Lucky. Hey, Lucky, can you hear me? I know when I do that, Randy says he goes crazy, and he goes, don't do that. Hi, Lucky. Are you being a good boy? Are you taking good care of Randy? No digging in the backyard. Lucky, no digging. No digging, Lucky. He's running around. Every time I read the Bible, I get more confused. Oh, shame on you, Roy. You should open the Bible, and it should be a joyful thing. That's when the Lord will bring something to your mind that you've been questioning for a period of... Can I stop playing with that? For a period of time, and then suddenly a revelation, like I wanted to know. We've got these people that are getting personal revelations from an angel or got a word from the Lord, and they start a whole frickin' religion based on that. No, the Bible says something about that. Not you, but that person that does that is cursed in the Bible. So we know that these religions that say Jesus didn't die physically, they're cursed. These religions that say Jesus was raised from the dead, but he didn't get raised in bodily form, they're cursed. We got these religions where they say God says this and God says that. It's different from the gospel that they were being preached by the 12 apostles. Okay? It specifically says they're not only cursed once, they're cursed twice. So it actually goes on, which I don't want to say I'm going to disobey, but it says don't even interact with them. Now you got a problem. We have a Christian country, and it's telling you who not to interact with. Okay, so it makes it difficult. So yes, I am kind and sweet and polite to most people. There's nothing like a Karen to get me turned on, okay, in terms of anger. Shut up, witch, you know. So anyway, don't get confused, Roy. Before you pick up the Bible to read it, pray that the Holy Spirit will open your ears and eyes of understanding, and you'll be surprised that he will answer that prayer. Gregory says, no, I don't hear a reverb when you turn it off, which means all this should have no reverb. The last 10, 15 minutes of me yapping, there should be no reverb until I push a certain button. So, hi, Sammy. Hi, everybody. Sammy's saying hi to everybody. Love you, Sammy. Sammy's having a good time today, and he had a special day with a special person, and now he's relaxing. Well, what's today? Friday. Oh, you probably are at home, right, Sammy? You're not at the dorm, because he stays at the dorm. I miss mechanical focus. Focus by wire just isn't the same. Sammy says Peter likes a good deposit. Peter likes a good dessert. I'll take the deposit. $5, $10. I'll be buying some ice cream. Dairy Queen, Carvel. What's your favorite? Oh, Tillamook. If you guys have Tillamook ice cream in your area, woo! Gregory says no reverb and the sound is good. I'm glad to hear that. I have a large bottle of vanilla and drops. The drops are large. Randy's got big drops. That's pretty cool. Randy says, my mom said it was called pudding milk, and that is the law. That happens. Like, your name is Peter. Don't let them call you Pete or Petey, okay? And this is from when I first began to talk, and now, if somebody calls me like with those names, I will gently nudge and correct them and say I prefer to be called Peter. And if they keep calling me Pete or something else, I just let it go. I mean, who cares? Okay? But it does stay with you. My mom called it pudding milk, and it's the law. So we are all bound by Randy Mom's law. By the way, 2 drops are a teaspoon. Hell, now you're putting a good amount. That's good, Randy. That vanilla tastes good, honestly. 37 degrees is 98 degrees. Oh, crap, that's hot. That is hot, 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 hot. Mark is here. It amazes me the people in the day used manual focus for street photography back in the day. Okay, amazes me people. Okay, so he's saying that they used to use manual focus out in the street photography. I wonder how many shots were missed, or maybe those out of focus shots ended up great. Either way could be, but I'll tell you something. The truth is, when you're in that system, it works better than if you just drop in on that system. Okay, so right now, if I had to switch to manual focus, get rid of that camera. Okay, now Sammy does manual focus all the time. He's used to it. So that's the way it is. So, yep, it is what you get used to, right, Mark? But you had a couple of film cameras that were manual focus, didn't you? The 2 1/4, the full frame. So you do have, I have to stop doing that with my foot. All right, 37 C is warm, 98. And 45 is 113. Well, that's too hot. That is just plain too hot. You would sit in a refrigerator. Okay, here's Jeff. I was asking about you just a little while ago. Good day. How are we doing? We're looking good. You're looking good too. Okay. Randy is trying to say something. And the beat goes on. And the beat goes on. Oh, he's saying hi to Mark. And Mark is saying hi to Randy. Oh, the sports corner is Mark. Okay. So Randy is saying hi to the sports corner, and his name is Mark. Which camera? You. Hi, Mark. I like Mark. I love Mark. He's got a fantastic personality. Boom, boom, boom. He likes his thumbnail. Mine? No, he likes Mark's. It's Avatar. Yep, it looks... I can't see it too well because the TV is really far. Randy says, Indiana or University of Miami? Seriously? Really? You think I'm going to go for any Florida team automatically? So we got U of M, we got Tallahassee, we got University of Florida, we've got University of Central Florida, but they're not that big of a team. So whenever, and the Miami Dolphins, the Miami Heat, Miami blah blah, Miami blah blah, it's your city. You're just going to automatically go with it. Unless you get a hair up your butt and you don't like them, like the Dolphins have been doing piss poor, but I didn't switch. But my other favorite team was always for years was the Dallas Cowboys. So here's a good question. Who is the number one rival? What's the rival game with the Dolphins? Who is their rival? Every team, whatever city you're in, you have a rival. Not arrived like you've arrived from a trip. I mean a rival, like rival can openers. Okay, who is the rival for the Miami Dolphins? Okay. Most of you, or at least half of you, probably know it. Lewis, you owe me a phone call. You better get on the ball, kid. Okay? Hello, Peter and friends. It's my mom's birthday today. Catalina, we are going to Denny's. Amen. I get to use my button. Happy birthday to Catalina. Happy birthday to Catalina. Happy birthday, beautiful Catalina. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? How old are you now? Oh, Catalina, how old are you, sweetheart? Happy birthday to you. What you gonna eat at Denny's? What you gonna eat at Denny's? Did you get the Grand Slam or something else? Happy birthday, beautiful, beautiful Catalina. That's Lewis's mother. So I get to sing happy birthday. I love to sing with the reverb on. It's something about Peter Gregg's brain that likes to sing with the reverb button on. So Randy is saying, Peter will sing a birthday song for your mother. Yep, I already did it. And have her watch the rewind, which is a great idea, Randy. Wrong camera. Still a great idea, even on this camera. Happy birthday, Louis Lazuka's mom, Catalina. Oh, let's make sure I got the right name. Yeah, Catalina. Bum, bum. Now, if there was an R in there, it'd be Katrina, but it's Catalina. So Roy is saying, I'd like one of those early Lotus Teslas, the two-seater. But I'm too big. Oh, why bother with it if you can't get in the damn thing? You just like the way it looks. I love the way the Corvette looks. Once I get in, I can't get out of the darn thing. There needs to be a sky hook so I can pull myself out of the Corvette. But wow, what a mean, sincere-looking car. Oh my God, those Corvettes. A black one is so wicked and mean. A white one is so clean and ghostly going down. Oh my goodness. You guys, pray God blesses me so I could go down to the Tesla shop and buy me my brand new Tesla. And then we'll do a live stream. Hey, Randy, can I live stream from the car? I bet you I can. I'll get an extra super duper long HDMI cable. So Randy's saying to Roy, I got the Megadap 21 Pro. Didn't you just do a video on that? Today, and a lot of the lenses are working with the Nikon ZR. There is a new video that just came out, and they're showing off that little box. It'd be something like this little square tip right there. See that? Picture that thing as a square, and it fits into your hot shoe. And no wire, nothing like that. Just this little square, and picture it's cubed. Okay? And it's got a hot shoe thing here. You put an SD card in here, like over here. You got that slot. Okay? And it records the gyro data for you. Okay? Isn't that something? You could put that on your Nikon ZR. And they did it on the Nikon ZR. That got me excited. I was going to call you and tell you, but I didn't. Now, I did learn something else that shocked the heck out of me. You know how much I complain and moan that nobody else outside of Sony has the ability to record gyro? Do you know what camera records gyro right in the camera? You're going to be shocked. I was stunned. I actually said no. I had to go to the gyroflow.xyz. It's not .com, it's .xyz. And see the compatible cameras, and Canon is listed there. The C50 and the upper Cs, the C80 and whatever the other numbers, they record the gyro data. And it works as automatic as the Sony A7 IV, FX3, FX2, whatever, where you can just put it in there and it automatically knows what lens and does it automatic. The C50 does it. By golly, Miss Molly, the C50 has got the gyro data. Why did Canon know to put that in there? I don't get that. Why isn't it on like the RX? The R6 Mark III is going to have it. Okay, when it comes out, it will be recording gyro data. However, as of right now, it's not automatic. So what does that mean to you? All right, so if I got my FX2 and I put on a 20 to 70 f4 lens, or if I put on even the compact 11 millimeter, or my favorite 10 to 20 Sony brand lens, it's all automatic. All I have to do is put the card in the card reader, have it open up inside of GyroFlow. It'll translate, it'll do the stabilization, and then it'll drop it into my folder because I have a folder system. So when I do a video, if I did one today, it would start off 26/1/16. And I said it was the 16th, so I should know that. All right. So it basically is automatic. I was shocked. I want to play with one of those C50s. You put the 16 millimeter, it's a full frame lens. I forgot how many megapixels the, if anybody there has got their hands available with to get on B&H, the C for Charlie, 50. Tell me how many megapixels that camera is, because it works like the FX2 or something. It's a full photography camera and a full video camera, and it's got a fan built into it. It is the winner chicken dinner camera. So the R5 Mark II, it will record the R5 Mark I, the original one, will not record the gyro data. The R5 Mark II will record the gyro data. Canon now. We're talking Canon. Surprise! All right. But it doesn't pass through the information so that it can tell gyroflow what lens is. And the reason that that's important is because each lens has a profile that gyroflow, the software, uses. Okay. So the way gyroflow works is it takes your file, it checks out what camera you have, it checks out what lens you used, then it checks with the mothership back wherever that is, and it checks to see if gyroflow, the mother company, has created a profile for that lens. Just like your lenses have profiles for chromatic aberration and what do they call it when it bellows in and out, all that stuff, that's all profiles that are built into the camera for that lens. Well, gyroflow reads or has created a profile for hundreds of lenses. So the Sony is the biggest catalog of lenses that they have. If I take the SD card out of my FX2, which is the Sony FX2, and I put it in my computer, I open up gyroflow, I say take the clip out, or the 10 clips out, run them through gyroflow. This is all with clicks of the mouse, okay? And then put them in this new folder called 26/1/16, Peter walking in the backyard. That's exactly what's going to happen with that camera, okay? That's exactly what is going to happen with my workflow. I'm going to turn off the stabilization. I'm going to walk around the backyard. Then I'm going to ingest it, have it all taken care of for me. It's going to take, what, an extra 10, 15 minutes? Okay, if you don't have the 10 or 15 minutes, you're a very busy guy, okay? And then it is completely done. So Canon, and I've been blasting everybody, why don't you record the gyro data? Well, the Canon C50 records the gyro data, records the lens. The C80 does too. But now you're talking about a $6,000 camera. That ain't going to happen. And the camera's large. Too large. Okay? Sly would be very upset. So, but the C50, it looks like it's a manageable size camera. And when I looked at the weight wasn't crazy. So now I got my eye on that. At least to do some testing maybe one day. Maybe it won't happen. So Gregory says, Amazon is coming out with a self-driving cab called Zoox. I've heard that, Greg. Kind of like the Johnny Cab in Total Recall. So they're going to go into the, what they call them robo-taxis because of Tesla. That's the way they named it. So they're going to come out with a driving cab and compete, which means Tesla might be planning something in the future for their delivery system more than we would know. They're not going to tell you, oh, here's our plans for our company. So how something like that would work. I also heard that Amazon was testing delivering packages with drones too. So they're probably not going to do it my way, okay? But my way would be if they say we are able to arrive at your house in the next 30 minutes, are you there to receive? Check mark the box. And once you check mark the box, they will send off your delivery to you. Okay? So I don't assume that this would be available in a big apartment building because the drone's not going to fly through the hallways. Okay? But maybe if it was a car or the drone could park outside. All right? And so let's say the drone appears and it's hovering, and Amazon sends you where they do those 6-digit numbers, and you enter the 6-digit number, and we will drop your package to the ground. If you don't enter it, the drone takes off and goes back to Amazon. That's how I would arrive. I don't want the packages stolen, okay? And it can't arrive and you're at work, then the drone wasted the trip. So Amazon would have to send you a text. If you're available, we're willing to have the delivery there in 30 minutes or less. Click the check mark. Then when you click the check mark, they send you a security code. When it arrives, it'll say, ding, your package is here. So you open your phone, enter your 6-digit security code. You enter it. Boom, there goes your package. Let's pray it's not a television. Well, they would know better than to ship a television by a drone. Okay, so see, my mind is running in all kinds of circles. So yes, we're going to have all these things that can drive us around. So Randy and Roy are talking about that special adapter. Randy and Greg are talking about... I don't get that one, but that's okay. I wasn't involved in the conversations. See? Don't butt into other people's conversations. Randy's talking to Roy, and he's telling him about lenses on the Z cameras. And Randy is saying the Megadap adapter will also work with the older Sony A lenses. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think I have an A lens. Nope, I don't think so. Randy says, I need a vehicle that can put large merchandise that will fit but not have a truck gas mileage. It's called a Tesla Model X. You know what? Tesla should make a pickup truck. No, I don't mean, where do they got that one? It's damn ugly. They should take the Model Y and make a convertible out of it. They already have it as a 4-seater with 3 different engine configurations. Okay, so they got that. Then it should be a convertible for the guy that wants to poof. I want a convertible. And remember the Ranchero and those that had like a pickup truck or a pickup car? They should make one of those. They got one of the best-selling cars. It used to be the #1 best-selling cars, and now Toyota and Tesla go back and forth, taking first place. Tesla's got the car. Do something with it. Even make a Cadillac model. Make a super luxurious one that for the big guys like me that remembers their Cadillacs, remembers their Lincolns. They're so silent. They ride smooth as a cloud. And these young guys want boom, zoom, zoom, zoom. Peter doesn't want that. Peter wants the ah. Who put the ah in vanilla? I want the ah in my car. They need to make the L, the Tesla LX, the luxury model. Charge $75,000. If I can't afford it, I won't buy it. But the guy that wants a luxury car, he loves Mercedes, and he likes the solidness of BMW and the smooth and quietness of the Genesis. Why isn't Tesla offering that? Who is running Tesla? Get rid of them. Put somebody in there that knows what they got, and they can develop something like Randy just said. I'd like a car that does this, a car that does. Why is it that they got the Model Y? They're running them through the Gigafactory here, the Gigafactory there, blah, blah, blah. Where is the convertible for the people that want to zip around in their convertible? Where is the pickup truck? Where is the luxury Rolls-Royce edition of the Model Y? The Model Y is a good, solid chassis. Okay, now they got batteries coming out that's going to make that sucker go over 600, 700, 800 miles on a charge if they put it in. Okay, so I'm sorry, they got a car there that General Motors didn't sit on their car. They came out with a car. Caddy had its model. Okay, Buick, same car, they put their model. Oldsmobile, same car, they put their model. I'm doing them in order, okay? Pontiac, same car, they had their model. Chevrolet, same car, they had their model. All with the same chassis, same engine choices, same suspensions, same electronics behind the dashboard. Now, each one of those companies were able to mold the fenders. So the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, do you remember that car? Buick Park Avenue, same car. Okay. Oldsmobile Regency, same car. Pontiac, I forgot the name. Starts with a P. Peter, you used to know all of these. They had the same car. Even today, the Cadillac CT something and the Chevrolet Impala are the same car. One is on the Cadillac with all its goofachis, and one is on the Chevy with all its goofachis. So if you can't afford the Cadillac, I think it was the CTX. CTL? CTX. One of those CTs. Not the SUVs. It's a sedan. They don't make it no more. They did away with it. Okay. CT6 or CT5. One of those. Impala, same body, same chassis, same engines. All of it's the same. One is a Cadillac, one is a Chevy. Tesla doesn't even have to go through those extremes. Just make more models on the same car. What is wrong with Tesla? Somebody needs to stick a hose up there wherever you can stick a hose. So, Randy, you started all that. I need a vehicle that I could put large merchandise that will fit, but not have the gas mileage of a pickup truck. Amen, brother. And it would be battery. Roy says, double glazed, 2 panes of glass with gas in between them. All right, over here they have that. It's not called double glazed, okay? It's called thermopane. So it's just a matter of semantics. My back is hurting from leaning back, so I'm kind of leaning forward. So wait till we get to the next camera. It'll be all messed up. Okay. So I know what you're talking about, Roy. The cables do go bad. Well, I am going to try the spray, and then if the spray don't work, it'll get trashed. Okay, because I was flabbergasted that I couldn't get it to work, and I was really getting pressed for time. It was actually Wednesday night, so I wanted to put the camera online, but this won't run the signal through. Okay, so it was just getting me upset. The cables go bad. That's what Randy's telling me. When shopping, I need an AirTag to find the wife. Where are you going to stick it, Roy? Woo, everybody's laughing because I said something not nice. He is sleeping soundly. Lucky. Are you sleeping, Lucky? Where are you, Lucky? Are you dreaming? Is this his... we had our Great Dane, even Jingle Bells. When he was sleeping, he'd go a little... Poof, poof, and the feet would be going like they're running in their dreams. Is Lucky doing that? Bye, family interrupt this. Okay, so he just had family drop in. Just dropped in to see what condition my... Finish it. Okay. Gregory says the New York Jets are the rivals of the Miami Dolphins. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You got it right, big boy. You got that one right. Yes, that is... When that game is on, you got all the people down here revving their engines. King says you could go for the Rivian truck. That's a possibility. The Rivian, it's an open. The Rivian. I'm thinking of. It is the Rivian I'm thinking about. Open and back and close back. And yes, that's a possibility. And Carlos is here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Peter. Hi, Carlos. Love you, buddy. How are you doing? I just watched the most wonderful Japanese train ride. But I don't know if your wife is from Japan, China, South Korea. any Korea. I was going to say North Korea. God forbid. Okay. But I enjoyed it. It was one of those comfort videos where it's just comfortable to watch. Just comfortable to watch. No Rams. No Rams. Dolphins, baby. My fish is bigger than your fish. See, that is the country has applied that sports enthusiasm to their politics. And it's not right. Politics is not a sport. We're making decisions on how our country's going to be run. And they're picking wrong. They're picking things that they wouldn't normally pick. Okay? So, anyway, we have completed our show. We have gone an hour and 40 minutes. Boy, Peter, when you talk, you can really talk. Blah, 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 blah. All right, Randy, I need the saying to take me out now. All right, so I thank everybody for being here. I love you guys. I am pleased as punch that this little guy right here is giving me such wonderful, pictures, imagery. My head's in the wrong place again, but we'll fix that right up. If I sit up or lean back, it changes everything. So if I wanted to run the show from here, I would just take this chair, turn it, and this would be my angle, okay? And this is the way it would look, because this camera is way out of line in terms of where all the other cameras are. So it's kind of like where I'm doing exercise. You know how you go like this, and then you go like this, and you go like, well, with this camera is so far to my left, your right, okay, that I actually have to twist. So it is a form of exercise. So if I put the camera there and I put the chair here, now I'm square with the camera. And it looks very nice. All that tuning, it took a while. It just goes to show you, it just proves to you that there is a tuning effect that takes place with these cameras. All right, guys. I love you. Randy is bringing us out tonight. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and keep smiling. Cheers. Make sure you look in the description because that's where I have the link for the bread that I just had tonight. I will be having the chocolate chip cookies. I'm working on the recipe. Get that close. I'll be that fat by the time I finish designing that recipe. Okay. And, of course, the Better Bounce card. So those links are in the description below. And if anybody wants to support me, I like that. I'm not ashamed to say I want your support. I do want it. But you don't have to do that to be here. I love you just the way you are. Just the way you are. Okay, there's a song like that. And anyway, that takes us to the end of our show. I got the singing button all running again. I'm going to have to put a red dot there because I have to go find it. Now I'm in the church hall. Happy birthday to whoever you are. Happy birthday to whoever you are. Happy birthday to my brother. Happy birthday, Catalina. Happy birthday, Sammy's friend. I think he said it's her birthday too. Happy birthday to all three of you. Happy birthday to all three of you. I'm doing this so I can see if there's enough reverb on, or if I have to turn it a little bit more. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope you had as good of a time being here as I did, honestly. And Randy, I think you got something there. Peter, you need a swivel chair. Yeah, but the chairs, they cost so much. So I need a comfortable chair. That's the first priority. So whoever gives a donation tonight in the description, that money will be going towards a new Christmas chair. How about if we do that, okay? That will be something where a Christmas chair, it's because of you guys. All right, I love you, and we are done. If you're watching this on the rewind, thank you so much. Put a damn comment. Don't just lurk. I need to feed off of your good vibes. Take that finger and let it do the walking through the yellow pages, but change it from the yellow pages to your keyboard and write me a comment if you're watching this on the rewind. Right. All right, I'm ready to go by. Yeah, I am. Watch. I'm going to disappear. Goodbye.